2, 3, 4. Greetings!
Wait, Lee, I just need to position the wire pedal in front of my foot so that I can wire at appropriate and inappropriate times. Wait.
Bonjour, bonsoir, bonne nuit.
And bonfire. I'm Rob Chapman.
And Bon Scott. And Bon Jovi.
Oh, now we're talking.
And,
Supergroup.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Bonham.
Bon Voyage.
Bonham, Bon Jovi and Bon Scott.
Oh, Bon. What a band. That would have been. 2 singers and a great drummer. 2 of them are dead, though, so probably never going to happen. Right. Hey, Rob.
Hey, Lee.
Okay.
It's
the morning.
We should preface this by saying that Lee's a little bit tired. He's got 2 babies and a bunch of businesses to run. And of course, it takes a lot of time to be that good looking this early in the morning. And so Lee is a little bit worse for wear.
Yeah.
It's okay. Have a little stretch. Have a little stretch in the yawn.
Can we do some what are the Chinese do in the morning to sort of, wake them up? What's that called? Tai Chi?
I don't know.
Come on, do it with us, Rob.
Yeah.
Do a bit of Tai Chi.
So we'll breathe in,
Staying alive.
breathe in,
Staying
and then breathe down.
Praying mantis.
And
breathe down.
breathe down. And then breathe in, and then sacrifice a goat.
I feel much better.
Okay.
The goat's what pushed you over the edge.
What have we got here, Lee?
Well, the little ditty Vox MV series that they launched in 2017.
What does MV stand for?
MV, that's a good question, actually. Mini Vox, maybe? I don't
I'm going to say
know.
it's definitely Mini Vox.
Because some clever person at Vox invented a thing called a YouTube. Actually, ironically, here is our remote control for our really expensive Dyson fan that Dyson didn't give us for free, so don't deserve to be plugged. And the YouTube's about the same size as that. And it's effectively a collaborative attempt between Vox and some bizarre component manufacturer in Japan that I forget. Yeah, who make these kind of vacuum LCD things for other uses. Anyway, some clever person went, oh, if we took one of those and we modified it and we added some sprinkle dust in and everything like that, we could make a mass-producible, affordable valve or component that contains all the elements of a real valve, but in something that's effectively sort of board mounted.
And something that isn't a dying piece of tech, because unfortunately valves, tubes, are a dying thing. Just keep going, you need more of it.
I thought you were going to go on some longer monologue.
I can do if you want me to.
No, it's fine. So the first sort of incarnations of this new tube is a preamp tube. I haven't quite cracked how they would make this tube into a power section yet, so it's just a preamp section. And its first kind of outing was in these very, very small 50-watt guitar heads, guitar amps, of which Rob and I demoed some of the previous versions last year. When I say previous versions, they're not discontinued, they're just differently voiced to these. I think there's an AC30, as you would expect from Vox, kind of voiced one, a completely clean one, and a classic rock sounding one. They're 50 watts, they're very affordable, they run on a 9 volt, no, is it 9 volt or some sort of 19 volt, sorry, power supply. Lots and lots of guitar players will have these on their pedal boards to use as just, you plug your pedals in and then just run this into a cab, or they might have it in their gig bag as a backup amp, or they might even have them at home as a little Diddy amplifier. So the two new ones for 2018, we are in 2018, aren't we?
We are, Lee, yeah.
Good. Is a...
Joss's right hand, isn't there?
What? Because it's in 2019, it's that
Because
fast.
Joss's right hand moves so fast that time travels momentarily. Sometimes it's not with him.
Backwards or forwards?
His objective is to go back in time to when guitars were cheaper, buy one with his hand and bring it back.
So Rob's giveaway here, I think whenever you see anything with a tread plate thing on the front and the words high gain, it should give you a clue as to the type of sound's going to come out of this one. And then my one's called boutique, that rather irritating word, I think now. It's annoying me.
I like it. When I hear the word boutique, it makes me want to spend money.
Yeah, I want, I don't even really, I think unfortunately, for me, boutique is literally man in his shed making 2 things a year that are unbelievably expensive, and every single one's slightly different because he forgot how to make the last one. And now we just call things that are mass-produced boutique, and I don't like it.
I agree with you. Isn't a boutique a small store that sells like artisan
ladies'
wares?
clothes? It's like, I don't know. But anyway, boutique. So, and it's got like a wood panel effect on the front here. So I don't even know what this is.
Can we look up the word boutique? Because if we don't, it also gives me an opportunity to turn my phone off.
In fact, Rory, you could do one of those things where they sort of overlay the dictionary definition of the word boutique.
Okay, you ready?
Probably going to say mass-produced guitar.
Because this is going to blow your mind. Boutique, Wikipedia.
Yes. Wikipedia?
I'm just going to Wikipedia.
I thought Wikipedia was like an encyclopedia. I thought it would have to be about someone.
It's a small store that sells stylish clothing, jewellery, or basically it's French for shop. You know what it is? It's this cultural appropriation when product companies...
Too embarrassed to say expensive,
No.
So they choose a different word.
No.
Boutique.
Product companies do this thing where they steal a language like, for example, Spanish or French, and they put it on a brand of a product, and then to elevate... Like, for example, Pret-à-Manger. If I made a store called Ready to Eat, John's Ready to Eat, you'd be like, yeah, do you want to go Ready to Eat? Ready. If you go to Pret-a-Manger... It would
totally work in France, though, because in France they have Jean's Ready to Eat. And it sounds awesome. And they're like, have you been to Jean's Ready to Eat? It's amazing.
Talking of Ready to Eat, we should all say congratulations to Ben Meinl, drummer from Dor J and Tosca.
Tenuous link.
Because
he's a little baby girl, and he's chosen the single most beautiful girl's name in the world to call her, because it's the same as my daughter's name. So congratulations, Ben and Hannah.
Yes.
And, absolutely. Enjoy sleep, because it's a thing. Right, come on. So, let's do yours
it's all
first.
about the dirt tones. So check out these dirt tones.
Now, there's no reverb built into these, and there's no effects loops built into these, which
it's the
will
worst
annoy
thing
some people.
It's annoying me.
Sorry?
It's annoying me because the reverb is then in the front, and then what you get is that no reverb sound until you stop playing, then you hear the reverb.
Well, and also as well, you've got to adjust the reverb every time you adjust the knobs on here. So there we go. Apologies about that. To be totally honest with you, it doesn't really matter if what you're trying to do is get a clean sound out of here and you're getting your drive pedals before your reverb. But if you're trying to get drive from here and use it with reverb, it's a bit of a fiddle-dee-dee.
Yeah, so
fiddle-dee-dee.
I get heat either way. If I say nice things about a product, I get told off for saying nice things. If I say bad things, I get told off for saying bad things.
I know.
So it's one of those
To be honest with you,
things.
I would just stick with basically the mantra that Chapman's the best brand in the entire universe and
Obviously.
everything else is crap.
Well, no, but
You know,
but
and then you're safe.
with
At least
every-
people know where they stand.
with every product, there is always elements of good and elements of bad. When I looked at this, I thought, oh God, it's going to be a cheap, piece of shit. But then when I plugged in, eventually got the cables and sort of got a sound, I was pleasantly surprised.
Got a Richie Kotzen thing going on here with your Telecaster.
Oh,
and your
don't
slightly
get me
high-gain
don't get me
amplifier.
excited about Richie Kotzen. I love Richie Kotzen. That man is the best looking man in the world, now that Chris Cornell has passed away. The best singer in the world, now that Chris Cornell has passed away. And one of the best guitar players in the world.
And he still was that even when Chris Cornell was alive.
He's
Yes,
incredible.
Just clarifying.
So it's a high gain amp, but your
Yes.
point of the fact that if you put gain in front of a reverb, it's fine. Well, for this product, exactly, you can't do that because you're going to put reverb in front.
Yes.
So it irritates me, and it's a silly thing they could have resolved.
That's a thumbs down.
Right, but the sounds are good. So here's a kind of I'm going to say kind of a... Now, you could get it cleaner if I turn it off. If you...
Oh, that's loud.
Yeah, but you want that headroom.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what you're hearing is this tiny speaker in the front here, backlit with an orange, and it's no, it's not really. What you're hearing are a couple of 212s that we've got at the back of the room.
Yes.
I'll be honest with you, Vox do sell a matching little 1x8-inch, very, very cheap speaker to go with this. And if you really, really want to make this sound the worst it can possibly sound, run it into a speaker that's like, the size of a shoebox. But if you want to make it sound, give it the opportunity to sound the best that it can sound, put it into something bigger like a 112 or a 212 or even a 412, it'll run them all. But
you can turn the gain off, all the way off,
and still
oh yeah. And loud.
You can't
too.
normally do that, can you?
No. Is that all right, Bees?
That sounds good.
Is this all right? I just want to get some little bit of preamp valve breakup. So now,
That's really good.
yeah, it does sound really good. Now, if you wanted a gain sound and you put it halfway up, die, will you die? I'm just going to remove the reverb because it ruins that tone. So you got a myriad of tones.
Oh man, it's kind of annoying, really, that there isn't really a terribly usable way to use reverb with this, other than unless you were recording it and you put the reverb on post-production. But
well, here's how I'd use it.
Yeah, I think it sounds great.
It does sound really good. I would gun it.
Yeah.
I'd kill almost all of that gain, and then I would put a gain pedal in front of it.
Yeah. Although again,
if I wanted to have reverb when I'm playing lead, and if you don't, then you just.
But I think you would, if you were going to do that, then the argument would be you just buy the clean version of the MV50 and you just use it as a complete pedal board thing.
But if we put it in the middle, but with just a little bit more gain, so you've got that chunky kind of. There's a bit of hiss now because you know.
Because
you're spending
loud.
How much is it?
$199.
$199.95 out of three. If you do the whole volume backing off and not backing off.
Now, I should just point out as well, it has a couple of switches on the back that are, I think, unique to the high gain one. So we've got 2 levels of EQ. So if I switch between the two while you're playing, one called flat and one called deep. I need, Rory, can you, on my voice, can you do that thing where it makes me sound like Barry White?
Do it again.
So one called flat.
And one called
deep.
Pretty subtle, but anyway.
It's a scoop, isn't it? It's just a scoop.
Yeah, and then there is a 3-way mid control. So we've got, in the middle is flat, which is what you have been hearing it for the demo so far. But I will scoop it this way to cut it and this way to boost it. So here we go. I think it sounds good. It's, you know, it's tonally speaking, there is not a lot wrong with that. It's the right kind of price. It's crazy small. It's just not for fans of reverb, is it?
A+, yes. Would be an A++, yes, if it had a effects loop.
If it had some way of either internal reverb or effects loop or whatever. Yes. So that's that one. Can I just plug it in with something with humbuckers on it and just give it some, like, just Metallica or some band that are famous for using a boogie dual rec? And we'll just max it out here.
But it's a Voxley.
I know. I absolutely know.
Why don't you play this guitar more often?
I do.
It's great for the...
Exactly like it. Right, so that is your MV50 high gain. Moving over this side now to the MV50 boutique. Starlight. What is that? What is that? That is like Captain's Log.
Captain's Log, started 2018. The species
I
seems
never
to be
noticed that
hostile.
before. Have you ever? That's so weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I've got a Boss reverb pedal going into the front here. As you can see, my amp has far less gain than Rob's. I don't know if I can do the same. Can I have no gain? I can, so I can have completely clean. And if I wanted to use it, well, no, I'll come on to the pedals in a minute. So a little bit of gain in here, like we'll get the gain up to about 11 o'clock. Still very clean, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Where does the gain come in?
You got to push the volume.
Maybe the need pokier pickups. Here we go. So round about, what's that, 2, 3 o'clock? Thank you. That's a good example of what happens when you've got a reverb pedal running into the front of the amplifier and you do things like whack all the gain up. Let's take the reverb off, I think. There's a lot, like 75% of the gain comes in literally in that last couple of notches on the gain control. I don't know, it's a... It's funny, because they've just named it very generically boutique, I don't really know what amp it's trying to be, and it doesn't really remind me of anything, so I can't...
It's just going to be an AC 50 kind of vibe, isn't it?
Well,
Crank it up. Give it some juice, some volume juice, man.
Oh, sorry, Robert.
That's quite a convincing Stones.
It's got a thing. I mean, I've got this flat and deep control on the back. I don't have any of the mid-cut stuff, so all that was on the flat mode.
I'd rather be deep than flat.
Well, here we go. It's quite convincing again, isn't it? It's got that sort of...
It's a valve amp.
It has got that sort of like, ooh, something nice is happening when I turn it loud, you know, get it loud. Apart from all the hiss,
I can tell that you're
nice
still
clean
missing
sound.
the reverb though, huh?
I'm massively missing the reverb. I'm just going to turn it back on anyway. I don't know. I'm a reverbaholic, if that's a word. Of course, what I have got on the floor down here, if I to do this differently and where I would be able to get the reverb to kind of be on all the time, is a distortion pedal. So I've got the full tone plimsoll on the floor, which is weirdly and ironically about the same price as buying the amp.
Oh, no, I'm surprised by now. I even got shares in.
So there's my verdict. That's what I would do, I think, with almost any of these, is choose the one that kind of gave you the closest basic clean sound to what you wanted, and then just use it as a, use it as a pedal thing. Can I pinch the other guitar back for a second? So, no pedals. Sounds good. And then avec pedal. Good. Yeah, I mean, again, as a pedal amp, I don't know specifically which one of the 5 or 6 different versions of this that I would buy. That's tacky. What
it is it fooled me. I thought this was a piece of metal tread plate, but you know what it is?
It's a bit of plastic photocopy or something, isn't it?
It's plastic with a photo of tread plate, so it's just smooth. You think it's... No.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm sort of... I don't know. I think for me, this would be something, if I was trying to put together like a pedal board that I could just have a power section at the end of and plug straight into a cab, I think this is super viable. I think the only thing about it that might annoy me then is the fact that it's got a funny power supply, like a 19-volt power supply.
I can sum it up for you.
Sum it up?
They got the important parts right. Because the tones are great. I mean, they are undeniably great tones.
Tones are good, price is good, size is good.
Yeah. A little bit of visual stuff and no effects loop, but other than that, it's a really good sounding.
I think Vox have got a real issue visually with like everything they try and do.
Oh, I don't disagree. I disagree with that. I think some of the things they do, hi Yuki, are really good.
I think the only thing that I don't think they've ever worked out what to do beyond the AC30.
I don't think...
Just because that looks great, and then they just try and shoehorn this kind of AC30 look into everything else. It just doesn't work.
I don't think Vox know how they're supposed to look.
See? Deep. And this is why this is the only channel that you'll get these completely subjective...
Well, it's to do with attrition. It's attrition in design, isn't it? They've lost designers over years and different ideas, and so there's no cohesive visual thread and visual signature throughout the brand's image.
I think it's just terribly difficult to have a modern product that they then try to make look, inspired sort of with vintagey vibes about it.
Yeah.
This maybe not, MV50s maybe not, I'm thinking more particularly of things like the Vox Adio.
I know you are, yeah.
Which I own, so I mean, it's a great product and I sort of get, but every time I look at it, I just think, God, it's a ghastly looking thing.
It's like a kilt wrapped around a radio.
So, but there we are. Well, so, hope you enjoyed our first video of the day.
Just realised I fed this to you, so I'm going to just...
Yeah, don't drink any of that now.
Lee had a good idea.
Yeah. Rob and I both agree that actually what we'd rather have is we'd rather lose the tone control.
Yeah.
Just have like a preset tone. Maybe the switch on the back gives you those sort of like 3 positions.
Put it in the middle and then just pull it off. You can
do tone from here and then just replace it with reverb.
Yeah,
so a little tiny reverb chip in there and just have that middle control reverb.
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect.
That's what you want to do.
Everything's solved. I'd buy 5. Anyway.
I've been Chappers. Bye.
Bye-bye. Hey everybody, thanks for watching the Andertons Guitar YouTube channel. If you're a drummer or a keyboard player or interested in music technology, you might find one of our other channels interesting, and I'll put details of those in the description below. If you want to find out more about the products we've just featured, please click here. If you'd like to buy a t-shirt like this, please click here. If you want to watch another video on our guitar channel, click down here. And to subscribe to our guitar channel, click here. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.